Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Hope you lot are doing well. I'm still trying to... Chelsea conceded 5 goals at home to 19th place West Brom, who generally don't score goals, and Chelsea are supposed to be defensively immaculate. Over 70% of our goals conceded under Thomas Tuchel have come from West Brom. West Brom's second away win of the season. I don't know what's happened. I'm trying to compute it. I'm going to try and take you through it. This is your match review of Thomas Tuchel's first loss as Chelsea manager to West Bromwich Albion, managed by Sam Allardyce, conceding 5 goals after only conceding 2 goals in the first 14 games. These are very sobering numbers, my friends. Okay, I'm going to try and dissect this. Boys and girls, daily content back here on Football Therapy. Feel free to subscribe if you're new. If you want to make me feel better, drop a like as we get into today's match review. It's important I say at this point, ladies and gentlemen, that I don't think Chelsea were always terrible in this game, and in fact showed heart at times and great industry, and as they were chasing the game they left themselves vulnerable. And it's also seriously worth noting that West Brom easily had their performance of the season. Their goals were pretty much all excellent, and apart from a couple of nervy moments, they were very, very good. Sam Johnston's been very good in goal all season, but they were concise and they were just very good. Look man, this is the exact kind of game after the international break where funny things can happen. And I mean it like Chelsea are a team full of internationals. All of Chelsea's players were flying around Europe playing competitive games for their national sides, while West Brom, with the greatest respect to all their players, they weren't. They were on the training pitch preparing for this game for a week or so. Despite all that, which is true, you just can't legislate for what is an incredibly radical result. Oh my god. Let's take a look at the who scored graphic for what it's worth and see what happened. West Brom with a relatively pragmatic defensive approach, although they pressed Chelsea hard. 3-4-3 as to be expected from Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. Thiago Silva coming back in. No Tammy Abraham, Ziyech and Pulisic behind Werner in the front three. Now, when I saw this lineup, I was like, oh shit. I even tweeted out yesterday, I realised Thiago Silva could make his return against West Brom. You know, and that was his debut against West Brom in the reverse fixture where he made that mistake and we had that awful result of 3-3, which looks looking pretty good right now. And of course, one of the headlines of this match is Thiago Silva was sent off for 2 yellow cards. Now, I'm pretty sure Jorginho did him dirty for at least one of these incidents, but he conceded a free kick outside the box, getting a yellow card, and I think he knew exactly what he was doing because the player was through on goal. But the second yellow card, he was trying to he tried to execute a block, turned his back and made a block, but his trailing leg caught the player. Personally, I think it's quite harsh for a second yellow, considering he's not actually tackling the player, he's just blocking the ball. Second yellow, he gets sent off. We've got an excellent player to replace him in Christensen, so we lose Ziyech, who actually looked pretty good at that point, and we just kept Pulisic and Werner up front as a counter-attacking two. Now, let's talk about the goals, shall we? Firstly, let's talk about Chelsea's goal. The opener, Christian Pulisic, I think it was after a Marcos Alonso free kick, hits the post, Pulisic running in for the rebound, Frank Lampard style, he would have loved that. 1-0 up, and then we go a man down. But we're 1-0 up, and we're playing against West Brom. So, it sucks that we've lost a man, but you'd think, surely we're going to be okay. This is relegation West Brom. Anyway, before the half ends, we concede 2 goals. And to be honest, I'm not going to run, I think, what was it? Pereira got 2, Robinson got 2, and I'm not going to run through their players that scored, but the goals were excellent. Sam Johnston played that ball to Pereira, he got an assist. They were really cool, concise finishes. So, yes, we were poor, and in the midfield we were poor. I was actually very critical of both Jorginho and Kovacic in the first half, although I think Kovacic got really, really good in the second half. We lost our heads. There was complacency in that first half. We concede 2, we go in at half time, 2-1 down to West Brom with a man down. But despite all that, before this game, if you're looking at this game on paper, if you look at that theoretically and go, well, this is Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, they are very, very good, and this is West Brom at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea should come back and win this game, or at least draw it, not lose. I think we go down 4-1, okay, and then Mason Mount comes on. He comes on in the second half. Mason Mount offers some industry. I mean, he's knackered. He played every single game for England. I was worried for him being knackered. Timo Werner sets up Mason Mount for our second goal. Actually, Timo Werner did very, very well to do that. He had a defender in front of him. Mount was in space. He squared it, scored a goal. Cool. And there's moments where you thought, well, there's going to be a game of this. And there's moments where you go on Chelsea, you're doing the right thing and pressing well, showing heart, and heads didn't drop in this game. But I actually think, personally, there was tactical flaws in this instance. And I can't critique Thomas Tuchel because he's been so good since he's come in the middle of the season with very little time making his formation perfect for the Premier League. But you do feel like maybe we should have trained the back four a little bit better at times. I mean, I can't criticise him because we haven't had the time to do it, but had we had more time to train the back four, switch to it immediately after losing a man rather than trying to, keep the back free so we can score goals and put pressure on West Brom. And then obviously we couldn't do that. I mean, we look good at times, and to be honest, a bit unlucky. So I'm not going to blame the referee, but I think a few decisions were rather harsh on Chelsea. But you can't blame the referee when you concede 5 to West Brom at home. Their finishing was immaculate. It was their game of the season. It's a midday kickoff back after the international break. And I don't want to blame Tuchel, even though I think tactically we could have changed to do better. But let's talk about player performances, because it's going to be very, very difficult to dissect who did what wrong here. Right, in goal, Edouard Mendy. He actually made a couple of good saves, and to be honest, all the goals he conceded, he was carved open and they were really good finishes. So despite a goalkeeper conceding 5 goals, I'm not going to criticise Mendy here at all. So let's move on. Thiago Silva, I think, although it was a harsh sending off, I think, West Brom is his jinx team. I said it before. Me being like superstitious, I would have actually not played him in this game because of the mental thing of the reverse fixture and 2 yellow cards sending off. So he can't say he did well. Who else? Right, Azpilicueta, I think he was probably missed a 7 out of 10 as he always is. Led by example, kept trying to drive the team. Didn't do anything super inspirational, but he was solid. I think Zuma, although I think he was at fault for one of the goals, he also had 3 or 4 chances to score a goal. Now, it's very difficult to criticise a defender for not scoring a goal, but one of them was like an open goal. So I'm actually going to say Zuma had a bad game here. Christensen came in, looked pretty good. He did have that moment of his trademark lie on the floor while the opposition breaks past him. Just get up and show that you're going to run. Frustrating for me. Alonso did okay. He did exactly what you expect of him. He obviously had the free kick that led to a goal. He tried. He's good at combining in the final third. Maybe in transition, if we had like a Chilwell or Emerson, they would have been better getting back. But again, I'm not really in the mood to criticise Alonso here. Similarly, Reece James, he good getting up and down. I think there's still a little bit of maturity to find in Reece James, but in terms of his game, he's got it all. But for all the back 5, I think it was a systemic failure. The midfield was really poor. I actually think the worst player in today's performance was Jorginho. I think he sold Thiago Silva short on a couple of instances. I think he was really, really poor, and had it been Kovacic and N'Golo Kante, it could be I was going to say, could be a draw, it could be a win. Do you know what I mean? Kovacic was magnificent in the second half, and I tweeted out, I thought both him and Jorginho were bad, and that was really unfair of me because Kovacic was magnificent in the second half. Despite everything that was going on, he was a driving force. Mount came on, got a goal, again a driving force. Werner got the assist, ran constantly, was denied a couple of fouls in the final third. I was pretty happy with him. So, the likes of Ziyech, who didn't really get a chance, he looked really good. Some passes with the outside of his boot in the first half. Pulisic, very smart on the follow-up to get a goal, but I understand why he came off. and Werner stayed on, because Werner's actually quite good with his industry, what I'm trying to say. So I understand it all. But anyway, that's how I feel about the players. Let's talk about the game a little bit more. Guys, it's an awful result, and it puts top four in a vulnerable position, much more vulnerable. I mean, Chelsea would have been heavy favourites to win. A draw, you would have got really good odds in this game. A West Brom win, you would have got amazing good odds. 5 goals, you would have, bought a house. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely insane. Hopefully Thomas Tuchel learns a lot from his players and the Premier League from this result and performance, but it is a hard one to swallow. Bring back the international break, man. I was enjoying my holiday. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, feelings and opinions on this. Get down in the comment section. We've got Champions League midweek. Oh my word, we've got to sort ourselves out. Enjoy the football. I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me baby.